I'm Max Brantley with the Arkansas Times on Thursday, January 29th. News in Arkansas today. The Little Rock schools open today as usual, but now under state control after being taken over yesterday by the State Board of Education. Dexter Suggs, the interim superintendent, met the press today. Didn't have a lot to say, did agree that for now the contract with the teachers union will remain in place. I think in the years ahead we can expect to see some changes in that relationship, but there's not an immediate effort to throw them out of the schools. Some staffing changes at the schools may also be coming. John Walker, the civil rights lawyer who opposed the takeover, tells me that he's not ready to comment yet on whether he'll file a suit over this. For now, he says, doesn't want to have a knee-jerk reaction. Says he wants to take State Board of Education leaders at their word that they have the interest of minority children at heart. He doubts their ability to deliver on a better education, but he's willing to give them a shot. AsaCare, that's our name for the health care legislation proposed by Governor Asa Hutchinson, zoomed out of the Senate today, and it looks to be in good shape in the House. The legislation for the so-called private option expansion of Medicaid under the Obamacare federal legislation looks like it's going to head to easy passage in the legislature this year after 2 previous years of high drama and pitched battles over getting the necessary votes. It's different having a Republican governor. Lots of the Republicans who ran solely against Obamacare now are voting for it. It's different now, they say. Not exactly, but it is. Information today on the Arkansas blog. Remember, everything I talk about here is discussed in more detail on the Arkansas blog, www.arkansasblog.com. I've got details today about how the legislature has figured out a way to dine with lobbyists at night despite Amendment 94, which supposedly prohibited gifts to legislators. They declare a committee meeting a special activity, a dinner or cocktail party, and they're eating at some of the finest restaurants in Little Rock. You can see the list on our blog today. The legislature today also, in other action, approved a bill to prevent doctors from doing early term abortions by telemedicine, that is by TV camera. It's not really an operation. A doctor just merely gives a woman a pill that several days later induces a miscarriage. This is not being done in Arkansas currently. It would not be allowed under this bill that came out of committee today. I'd encourage you to take a look at the blog today from an opinion piece written by Gloria Springer, a member of a pioneer black family in Little Rock, who writes with great passion and great unhappiness about the state's takeover of the schools. She uses it as an occasion to talk about the ways in which she thinks the community has failed the black community in everything from parks to streets to commerce to schools. And whether you agree with it or not, it's encouraged a great deal of discussion on our blog because these are feelings that do exist and exist strongly in a different element of the community. We have a Little Rock that has very different views in black and white communities and rich and poor. And I think that as we go forward with the Little Rock schools, the need to at least recognize that these differences exist is going to be really important in making progress. Other headlines: UCA is going to look into starting a school of optometry. The Supreme Court today issued opinions today. Again, yet another week with no word on the same-sex marriage case. Good news from Senator John Boozman, a Republican who I don't praise often. He's backed a bipartisan bill that would lift all the restrictions on travel to Cuba, a place I'd like to go before all the old cars are gone. And finally, there's a good article in the New Republic by Sam Eifling, who sometimes writes for us. That's about where police cross the line in making prostitution arrests. You know, you're not supposed to have sex with a prostitute to make an arrest. There's been a great deal of publicity about Fort Smith police coming a little bit too close to that line. I don't want to tout this for its prurient interest. It's a very important article about police tactics, of course. I'm Max Brantley, and I'll be back tomorrow.